Hello and welcome. We're going to do a little mini backyard sesh today. Meet me wherever you're at, in your toy room, your closet, kitchen floor, living room, or you can take this to the gym. So I just got done with a sweaty workout, so it might be glistening, but I wanted to wrap my workout out with a little banded core work, also some hip mobility and some just feel good, juicy hip stretches. So I thought, why not? Why not have you guys join me while I do this? So you don't have to have a band for this. You can mimic all these same moves without the band. Just use your own mind-body connection. Imagine you have a band. Imagine you're working through like really thick mud. I'm trying to think of a different word. Like you're stuck in really thick tar and you're trying to like push against it. So you can use that if you even have the band and your band isn't strong enough, tight enough. You can use that mind muscle connection to make it work. So I'm gonna put this on my shins. We're gonna start it on the shins right here, and then we're gonna come back lying on our back. So get comfy, tucking the spine, tuck the pelvis, roll it on back. Before we start, I always like to feel good, make my body feel good before I make it work. So move around if you need to. I'm gonna come up into these little balls, rocking. If you're a Pilates girly, you know these. But if you would like to just sit back and just rock the knees to your chest, feel free. Otherwise, let's just get that spine nice and loose. We want it loose, relaxed, and then we're going to make it work. All right, all the stabilizers. So coming on back, and we're going to start with the feet planted. So see if you can get them about hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider, but it'll just depend on your band. If you need to move your band up over onto the upper thighs, please do so. Hopefully you can see me here. All right, so get comfy. We're gonna make sure that our ribs and our pelvis are in alignment. Instead of open up like giant open scissors, we're gonna close those scissors. We don't need to smash our low back into the mat and like squeeze with all we've got, because that can put pressure, unnecessary pressure on the pelvic floor. So try to find that happy medium. So before we even start, you should feel the tension on the band. We're starting to roll our hips, so roll with me. And we're just gently tucking, just so that we can find that nice spot, that nice happy medium between slammed into the mat and totally open scissors. Now the sunshine is right in my face, so I'm closing my eyes. Feel free to shut down the eyes as well. I got sweat in my eyeballs. Yeah, this is great. Impromptu video, like, let's do this. All right. So I'm going a little quickly, probably because I'm all jacked up from the workout I did, but my goal is to slow my body down. So if you've had a chaotic day, maybe with the kids, maybe with work, whatever it is you got going on, maybe it's the full moon energies, which it is today, full moon in Aries, fun stuff. So again, slowing down these pelvic tilts. Again, you should feel that resistance already. So already my shins and my feet and all the stabilizers from my feet to my hips and my spine are already working to keep my legs and my feet where they are, rather than just collapsing in towards each other while I do these pelvic tilts. So gently pressing against that band. Again, you can move that band up around the thighs if you need to. I kind of like it around the shins for some of these. So once we've found those nice pelvic tilts, you can imagine zipping up from the bottom there up. So zipping up from your pubic bone all the way to your sternum. So we're going to start to, again, find that happy medium where I'm not slammed into the mat. So once I found, I'm going to call this locked in. So once I'm locked in, so it should take effort. You should feel your core working. You might even feel your pelvic floor engage. And from here, from the stacked aligned position, we're going to start with the right leg and we're just going to take it out to the side. Now just notice, pay attention to your own body. Are you wibbly wobbling? Is the other opposite leg trying to pull with you? Or are you having to make a lot of effort to keep that left leg still while your right leg does work? Again, my shins. I guess I did do a little bit of running down the trail today, so maybe my shins are like, what the heck? You would never do that. Plus this band, they're like, hello. But again, it's telling me, hey, these are little stabilizers in your body that you don't work enough. So again, taking that, continuing to take that leg out to the side. You can add your breath here. If it feels easier for you to keep your engagement, to exhale on the way out, inhale on the way back in, do that. if you need to. If it feels better to inhale on the way out and exhale to come back in, try to play around with both versions. And yes, it totally matters. It totally matters how you're breathing. So pick one and just see which one helps me feel my core and my pelvic floor work together. So it doesn't need to feel like hard or pressure. It just needs to feel like they're working together, making it easier and just more coordinated to take that leg out. So once you feel like a good little burn has built there, or at least you've got some activation, we are going to then switch to the other side. So now right leg is stable, left leg is out. Again, you can keep your hands wherever they feel comfortable. I prefer to keep my hands on my hip bones and then my ribs. So if I'm starting to do one of these and come apart, open up like a clamshell, I'm going to retuck, kind of like my fingers are telling my body, stay where you're at. Also, it's really nice because you can feel your muscles working when you do this. I'm talking and it's hard to breathe and connect all this stuff while you're talking. Hopefully you're not talking, you're just able to concentrate on the movement and your breath. Again, syncing that, see if you can exhale on the way out, inhale on the way back in. If you need to slow things down, if I'm going too fast, go at your own pace. You are in control of your own body. So again, once you feel that good burn, I have not been counting these, I'm just going intuitively. If you prefer to count, please count. So if you ended up doing like 13 on one side and you know you did 13, try to replicate that on the other side. Again, I'm just kind of going intuitively till it burns. If I wasn't making this video and not having to talk, I would absolutely count these out so that I make sure I'm even and not overworking one side versus the other. So now I'm going to come back in, nice little stretch, give mostly my shins a little break there. And I'm just going to tuck into the chest. You can have those legs farther apart. Might feel that resistance on the band. And we're going to come back. So this time, again, it's going to be so helpful to put your fingers into those hip bones to keep reminding them to be stable. We're going to open up both legs here. See these cute little birdies in the tree. The sun is shining. My shins are burning. So I'd probably do a lot more of these if my shins weren't burning. So I'm actually going to take my band and move it up. So if you're experiencing something similar, doesn't matter what it is, but you're like, well, that's not working for me, you have choices. You can make adjustments. Don't feel like you're just pigeonholed into one choice. You can move things around, and I just like that creativity of it, and just finding like, oh my gosh, this works, it clicks, it works better for my body. So once we've done a few more of these, again, count if you'd like. Rep range for these smaller muscle groups to be more controlled and where, you know, a weight is not involved. I like to go anywhere from 15 to 20 reps. You can go higher if you need to, but with more of this kind of slow and controlled movement, we want to do more of those higher reps if you're going to count. So from here, we're going to start, let go, loosey-goosey on the spine, reset that pelvis and rib alignment, and then we're going to go to marching. So again, if you can feel one part of us is moving and the other part is supposed to be nice and strong, stable, no movement if we can help it. Now, this particular band, these ones, they will roll on you. So if you don't like that, which I don't, but I'm just going to go with it anyways because that's all I got right now. They're not ideal because they roll, and that is why on the shins, it can be a little bit easier. They don't roll as bad. So even though my shins are kind of shot, and it does change the movement a little bit, you'll feel you get resistance differently, but that's okay. Again, adjust, pivot, and move on. Whew. Wow, shins are burning. My body's like, that 30 seconds that you ran today, we gotcha. So as you see, I'm starting to add a push of my palm into my thigh, just creating a little bit of that resistance. So I'm going to feel into my belly. Can I feel that? Again, if I'm going too fast, well, there goes my band. Feel free to slow down. I might even see, I don't know if I can do that. There we go. Put it on my feet. Again, adjust, pivot, move on. So I'm trying to see when I bring my knee to my hand, does my low back, does it pop off the mat? Do I compensate in my pelvis by shifting it around to get that knee up? You're also going to feel your hip flexors here. So again, we're trying to see if we can stabilize through the core while our limbs are moving and while we're creating that resistance. You can pause in the middle, ideally exhaling. Good, feeling that resistance there. So that's enough for me. My shins are burning. I'm gonna let those legs go out to the side, just full on relax. So that was, let's see, 2 to 3 different core moves you can do there. There's more we can do, but I really want to get into my hips. Oh, so we're gonna move on. Stay there longer if you need to, but we're gonna come up onto our hands and knees. Take your time coming up. So since my shins are shot, I'm gonna leave the band off for this. But if you need that extra burn, you want that extra resistance, you can, again, place the band either on the, above the thigh or on the shins. I'm gonna just use my body weight today. So before we get going, as usual, I like to move around, get into those tight spots before I try to make them work too hard. Kind of like a check-in. Check in the temperature. How tight am I? Also, it just seems for my body that if I kind of move it around first, kind of get it lubricated, the following movements are just much more easier for me. So let's see where we are with the time. Cool. All right, so this is probably gonna be like a 15-minute. So we're gonna start with our left knee, and we're just gonna slowly extend it out and then bring it back in. So checking in here, checking in with your hands. Are you slinking into your shoulders? Are your shoulders up by your ears? We wanna push that mat away. Also, your right hip, are you leaning into your right side? Are you dumping into one side or the other? So check in. Also, before we even start this, I should have done this, getting those ribs and pelvis in alignment. So same thing that we did on our back when we first started, was just pelvic tilts until we can feel that engagement. Whew, I can feel it zip from pubic bone to sternum, and I can feel my internal obliques and transverse on fire if you do these correctly. So pushing out nice and controlled. Again, if someone was standing above you, would they see your hips tilting side to side or swaying side to side? So trying to think of 4 points, like a rectangle. Can you stay within those 4 points? Can your hips stay between the 2 back points? Can your shoulders stay between the 2 front points? So from here, if you'd like to add on an arm reach, exhaling, inhaling. Now we are just staying on one side rather than switching for now. So again, we're trying to isolate and burn. Whew. You can look straight between your hands. I find the more I look up and look over to talk, my neck starts to strain. So ideally you are looking down between your hands. Shake it out if you need to. We're gonna follow up with the other side after we do some hip movements. Yeah, tight. All right, so stack it up, line it up, zip it up, take that right foot back. Now again, find yourself in your all 4 points. Are you staying within the tracks, staying within your rectangle, and exhaling to extend. Let the back of the neck be loose. As you move to, I just found myself swaying. If you have a mirror, that can be helpful. Again, you don't want to crank your neck to look the whole time in a mirror or even a video, but even if you video yourself, it doesn't have to be anything like vain. It can just be so that you can see or re-watch yourself after you've done it and you're like, oh, my hips are totally stable, but then you re-watch your video and you're like, oh my gosh, my hips were all over the place. So it can help you kind of self-assess and self-coach. So again, we're going to add that arm. If adding that arm throws you off, literally throws you out of balance, just keep the leg. You can also isolate and just lift the arm like so. Again, can I stay strong and stable through all my limbs as I do this? Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, little wobbly, 2, and 1. And if you do wobble, don't beat yourself up for it. Sway those hips side to side. Ooh, excellent. Let's see where we're at with time. We'll do one more move here. This is going to be a move where we're going to kind of combine 2 things in one. So I say one more move, but we're technically doing 2 because we're going to add a little bit of a stretch. Roll those wrists out if you need to. You can take your fingers, press the hand away from you with a straight arm. Excellent. Let's get going. because we don't have all the time in the world, right? Ladies, we got things to do, places to be. So stabilizing, stabilizing through, get nice and strong. We're gonna take that left leg, start to make circles. So paintbrush on the end of your kneecap, trying to draw as controlled circles as possible. They can be small, they can come out to the side, wherever you're at today. Again, check in. Are you dumping? Are you opening your hip to do that circle? Or can you keep your hips as down as possible? Now I'm gonna knock into some things here, so make sure you have room behind you. So we're gonna move here a little bit so I don't knock my plants down. So we're gonna do a few of these. We do wanna make sure we go both directions. So you can do 5 to 8 per direction. Again, if you're like, I could do 10, go for it, do 10. If you only got 3 per side, that's fine too. But we're gonna take that leg up and around, cross it. And again, not knocking down my plants. And I'm gonna straighten that leg, push, use my hands to push my hips back. This is kind of like a modified pigeon. Your front leg isn't at a 90, but we're just gonna rock front to back. So if you're like, ooh, I just need to stay in this, stay in it. But I'm gonna find that rock, and then I'm gonna find some stillness when I feel like, ooh, I can really lean into it. So if you need to move and adjust and turn this into more of a full-on pigeon where that shin is 90-90, go for it. But we're just gonna be here, breathing. Again, you can rock side to side if that feels good. But you should feel that opposite hip getting nice and stretched, lengthened, getting some juices flowing in there. Again, if you want to rock or just find that stillness, it's really what you're feeling. Energy-wise, like energetically and physically. Again, I'm feeling the full moon vibes today in Aries, which is a fire sign, which I'm sure you'd love to know all about. But it affects us, especially women. We feel the energy pulsing. So that's why I'm kind of like got this, I don't know, ADHD movement going. All right, from here, that feels good. We're gonna come on out. Whew. We're gonna take that leg out to the side. I lied to you guys. I'm like, we're gonna do 1 movement, 2 movements, let's make it 3. So coming out, it just feels so good. So adjust your legs as needed, but we're just coming out. This leg, you can't see my foot, but we're coming out straight. Rock in and out of it. Toe can point towards your face. Again, all these little tweaks, all these little tweaks that we do, you'll feel it in different spots. So toe up towards your face. I feel it kind of like running down my back of my leg to my knee, but foot flat, like so. I feel it more in my inner thigh. So we're gonna add this left arm, elbow to the opposite hand, and then reach up. If you wanna take full hand, go all the way, but if you're just here, you don't have to add this movement, but it just feels too good. We're gonna take that arm all the way under and through, like thread the needle. If you can, head to the mat. Take 2 to 3 breaths here. Excellent. Press into that right hand. Come on out. I like to add a last bit of a stretch and reach. Feels so good. So now we're going to go into the other side. Hopefully I don't knock things over on this side. So again, stabilizing through that quadruped position, taking the right leg. We're taking it out into the side. I would be sad if I knocked my beautiful plants out. So I'm just going to show you, if I dumped my pelvis and dumped my belly to the floor and had my arch back, might look cute, but you're just putting pressure on that low back, and we don't want that. I want a nice stable hip. So hopefully you can see that difference. I'm going to switch directions with me. But if I were to dump that to that, so I'm not fully tucking, I still have a nice flat spine, but I'm just stabilizing. That's where we're gonna get that work. All right, now I'm gonna take that foot across, reach it, and slide. So again, whoo, you can adjust your hands, come onto your elbows if that feels good, and just find that slight rock. Got my water bottle back there, probably gonna knock that down. Trying to take my own advice and just breathe. Find that stillness. I'm like pumped. All right, this is supposed to calm me down. So if you're doing this at a later time when your energy is lower, maybe it might be contagious and you might get pumped up right along with me. Or maybe you're just like not feeling this vibe. Peace, Jenna. Either way, again, I'm gonna force myself here to complete stillness. Let's breathe. 2 to 3 breaths. If you've got equipment, and by equipment I mean like accessories, you got pillows, a bolster. It doesn't have to be a yoga bolster, it can be a pillow. It can be a yoga block if you got that. It can be your kid's stuffy. You can grab it, hold it. Even like if you want to use this move at just another time, grabbing something to hold. Not only nice to just hold and hug something, but just being able to let your body relax into this. Beautiful, slowly coming on up. So again, same thing this side. We're gonna take that leg out to the side and just find what works for you. I'm gonna come to the center so you can see if you need this visual. So one foot, reaching up and back. Then we're gonna take that right elbow, reach it up and down towards the hand. I know you can't see my hand, but I'm pretty sure you know what a hand looks like. So again, this thoracic reach and twist is not necessary, but it just feels so good. So reach under. Sometimes I'm too tight, I can't get my head down. Again, this would be a great time. I have pillows, but they're out of my reach. So we're just gonna relax here. Doing that thread. Should feel this through the back of the shoulder blades. 2 to 3 nice breaths here. Again, sorry, my breathing's just sounding crazy. Push into that left hand to come up. One more reach, twist. Yes, that feels great. Okay, we're gonna finish. We're gonna finish here. It's gonna be under 25 minutes, promise. We're gonna finish in a down dog, because why not? If you're not feeling the down dog, you're feeling more lower energy and just more restorative energy. Lay on your back, Shavasana. Otherwise, we're gonna come up into our down dog, letting that head and neck go. And here, we're just gonna find some stillness. So bend into those knees as you need to, so your butt can come up real high and your chest can reach towards your thighs, pressing equally into both hands, maybe gazing between the feet, and just finding a breath. If you want, you can kind of breathe. I push into my hands around my ribs and then once you've kind of found like, I can sit, I can not sit, but I can stay in this, find some of that stillness. You can pedal the feet towards the mat. I'm just a little tight right now. It would take me a few more minutes to really get my heels down without compromising my spine, without rounding through my spine. So I can just be here letting those hamstrings release. They're kind of like screaming banshees. Excellent. We're gonna come on down. I promised under 25. We're at 24 minutes. So excellent. You just moved your body. You just did something good for yourself. So that's a great one. You can do it before a workout. You can do it after workout. You can do it as a standalone, completely standalone. Do it just those things. And I intended to just do a few things, but once I start, like, tell myself 5 minutes. Do 5 minutes. Sometimes I have like things that I want to do, like I'm gonna do bird dog, I'm gonna do child's pose, I'm going to do down dog, and sometimes I just say 5 minutes, do something, and then I'll end up from there doing more. So I like having a video to follow personally. It's just nice. Sometimes when you just brain does, you don't need to, no thinking, you just need to press play and follow along. So I love to follow along to other people's videos to like give my brain a break and for some inspiration. But if you're like, I only have 5 minutes and where's my phone and it's not ideal, like just do something. Just do something, and it typically will turn into other things. I promise you, you know more than you give yourself credit for. Like, you know how to do a down dog. You know how to do like a malasana squat, even if you have to, you know, do it up higher on a pillow or sit on the edge of a chair and just let yourself hang forward. Like, you know more than, you know what to do. But I get it on those times when you just need to push play and let someone else guide you. I'm a huge fan of that, and I need it sometimes, but never underestimate the ability to just sit down and start moving. So hope you enjoy that, and I see you guys in the next video.